Druid has been part of Dungeons & Dragons lore since the days of OD&D, and has proven to be even more popular today in 5th edition. The Druids Journey, next on Thaco's Cave. Silently hiding in a tree, the Wood Elf Druid watches as a small group of orcs cut some trees from this ancient part of this forest. She had to see it for herself, why the animals had come to her with such distress. Descending from the tree with agile reflexes, she transforms into a black panther and springs into action. As she does this, 9 other druids in their chosen animal form come racing from the hiding places as well. They quickly surprise the orcs, overcoming them and then using regrowth to erase all signs of a struggle. Soon, more orcs will be sent to investigate why the logs were not brought back to their camp. But for now, the druids begin their interrogation, looking for information regarding who is their leader, numbers of orcs in their band, and armaments they may have. Are you looking for a support class character to give natural aid to your fellow adventurers? Does the thought of communicating with both beasts and plants sound more like your thing? Or does having the ability to shape change into a wolf or a spider to gain their abilities in combat, does this excite you? Look no further than the Druid. I want to say thank you to all you who have followed me here to YouTube from Thaco's Cave on Facebook and Instagram. I hope you enjoy the channel. If you enjoy Dungeons & Dragons lore and want to hear more, hit that subscribe button over there and ring that little bell icon so you don't miss a single update. Also, the great deities of YouTube will favor us if enough of you give us a like, leave a comment, and share with others that you know on your social media groups. As of the time of the recording of this video, we had 235 subscribers and just under 1,000 views on our channel in the last 28 days. This wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you guys out there. I salute you for watching this video. Now, on with our main topic today. I'm trying something a little bit different outside of the box for today's video. You know, the Druids, they started out as an NPC or monster-only class back in 1974 in the OD&D supplement 1 Greyhawk. In 1976, because of increasing popularity, Druids are introduced as a cleric subclass character in the supplement 3 Eldritch Wizardry. When the first edition Player's Handbook came out in 1978, we again saw the Druids as a playable subclass of the cleric. Of course, there were a couple of requirements that had to be met first. You could only be a human or a half-elf, and you must remain of true neutral alignment only. Back then, a lot of dungeon masters made sure that you did stay true to your class restrictions. If you even tried to stray from your true neutral path, you would be sent into a sort of exile. You had to go out and commune with both forest and your deity, and sometimes it was even for up to a month of game time. It's pretty crazy, I think. I remember it was like a punishment. Good thing I didn't want to play a paladin back then. It would have been even worse if I didn't live up to their lifestyle that was outlined in Dragon magazine. When the 1985 AD&D Unearthed Arcana came out, Druids could learn to summon elementals at higher levels. In the 1989 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons, reduced the Druid to almost the same ability and spellcasting as a cleric, using them as counsel to tribal leaders and chieftains. Some Druids are even seen filling the role of Vizier. The Druid was finally shown in a positive light in 2nd edition when the complete Druids Handbook was released in 1994. Here we are given an in-depth look at what it meant to be a Druid, finally. For the first time, other than Dragon magazine, Druids were shown to be in different biomes other than the forests. This presented the Druids in a more well-rounded look this class was open to many other opportunities that you didn't think possible. For example, it was recommended a jungle druid would be restricted to no armor, not even leathers. But they're proficient with a blowgun. They're proficient also in survival and tracking skills. A mountain druid, say, could sense avalanches, volcanic eruptions, and even rock slides one turn before the occurrence. A swamp druid, for example, would have disease resistance against insects that bit and possible chances of getting malaria. And then we learned in depth about druid kits, which is a fancy way of saying, for today's standards, background specialization. Now, 3rd and 3.5 edition gave the druids some flexibility in their alignment, as long as they had to remain neutral. I remember several chaotic neutral and lawful neutral druids being drawn up. That's because, back in the day when you were restricted to a true neutral alignment, this right here kind of let you bend the rules a little bit. When 4th edition came out, the druid really wasn't shown much love, and they didn't get any specialization changes or anything. Not until Player's Handbook number 2. Then the druid was given at-will wild shape. And up until that point, only clerics and wizards were the only ritual casting class in the game. Now, they also got to choose between secondary roles. You got Guardian, which is focused on a leadership role, with emphasis on Constitution and range type evocation spells. While Primal Guardian relied on your Constitution as well when boosting your armor class, rather than relying on dexterity while using light armor. And then Primal Predator. This feature made the druid more focused on dexterity because of the feature of dexterity-based evocation spells. Now, over the course of the next couple of weeks, I will be covering the druid as outlined in the Player's Handbook. Just like I did with the cleric, you can find the link right over here. The only difference is, this time, I've got the Gale Force 9 cards to use as a visual. I know for a definite fact that some of these spells that are listed in the Player's Handbook are not on these cards, which does present somewhat of a downside. I find having the spell cards very helpful in my games, and it also prevents having to break out the Player's Handbook when there's a misunderstanding or something on how a spell works. There have been some requests for me to go back and revisit the Barbarian and Bard classes respectively. Let me know in those comments down below what character class you would like for me to cover after I get done with the Druids. Or do you think I should just follow them in the order they are in the Player's Handbook? I really do enjoy hearing from you guys, so keep those comments and suggestions coming. For more D&D lore, check out our monster playlist right over here. Be looking for our Druid class overview coming up later on this week. Now, until next time, thank you for watching. Now, you stay safe and have a great day.